and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast, my name is, as per usual, Bobby Salistar, and with me on the line is the man himself, the chief executive of the Allied Independent Wrestling Federation, the AIWF, Mr. Matt Classic. Matt, how are we doing?
Good to see you, Bobby.
Yeah, you too, mate. So, Matt, sort of introduce yourself to the audience. Who are you? And take us way back when to your involvement with wrestling, especially with the AIWF, how you first got involved with the AIWF, etc.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone's dying to know.
All right, no problem. The AIWF, we've been around since 1992. I've been with the AIWF for the past 17 years. Currently, we have 150 promotions in 47 countries. We're the largest global alliance in pro wrestling today. I got involved with them. I was doing some broadcasting. I'd done finished up my wrestling career. And so I got in, and then I got in backstage, and then now I'm the executive director. That's what you can say at the end of the day, I reckon.
Nice. So sort of take us way back when you first started out with wrestling then. Did you grow up as a fan? Or was it
I've watched wrestling since I was about 5 years old. I started training my senior year of high school when I was 18. I got trained by the great Chief Jay Eagle. He's a local legend in the South. His notable claim to fame is he trained Mr. George Gray, also known as the One Man Game and Akeem, who was his neighbor at the time, actually.
Nice.
But yeah.
So sort of talk us through actually first getting involved physically with wrestling then. Do you remember some of your first matches and some of the first bits and pieces that you did?
Oh yeah, I mean it's basic training. Mr. Eagle, when he trained, he just wrestles now occasionally. He's about 70 years old at the current moment. So yeah, but he just he teaches you the basics, and they were running every Saturday night, and my buddy Adam actually owns the promotion now, and they run every Friday night in South Carolina. So still to this day, they've been running for 35 years, I believe.
Nice. Yeah. So sort of talk us through how you first got involved with the AIWF then. How did that all start?
Well, I mean, it was kind of an interesting story. I met the owner of the AIWF at a show that I was helping book on, and I was also announcing on that show and doing some other stuff. And he said, "Hey, come do this TV for me." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem." And well, 17 years later, I'm still here. So
nice. So talk us through what, for lack of a better term, the idea of the AIWF. As not a lot of people may know about the AIWF. So it's a global alliance of wrestling promotions. So talk us through how promotions can get involved, because I know that you are sort of branching out to have more promotions involved with the AIWF. So sort of talk us through how promotions can get involved and what they can benefit from working with the AIWF.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the old days, how it really used to be in the NWA days, where promotions actually worked together. They had one single champion, and so that's what we strive for. And we've done well with that. Our world champion has been all over the world. Our cruiserweight world champion was actually just in England last weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, for BEW, wasn't it, down in London, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was down there. He was supposed to wrestle James Mason the next day, but it rained out on him. He had to fly back to America.
Yeah, James Mason, British wrestling legend, that guy. And, one of the best that you'll see for it. So, yeah. But, so... talk us through what championships that you guys actually have, because I know that you have got a few. I know that.
Yeah, we have a world champion, we have world tags, world cruiserweight, world women's champion, we got international champion. In your neck of the pond, we got a European champion in Gino Velati out of Malta. He also just toured with Dragon Gate for most of the early part of this year. And
Nice.
we're also with UEWA. Chris Forbes, who's the president of the UEWA, is also the president of AIWF Europe. So
nice. Yeah. So the UEWA, I'm probably going to mess up the term for it, but it's the Union of European Wrestling Alliance or something along them lines, isn't it?
yeah, they're good guys. They have a good operation going on. They're in multiple countries. The heavyweight champion of Europe is Robert Starr out of Poland. The cruiserweight champion is Espen Olsen out of Norway.
Nice. I know that the Knight family, WAW, have recently joined UEWA. And you've also got W3L up north. And, yeah. You are a part of it. And then, well, WAW are actually about 3/4 of an hour up the road from where I am, so about 45 minutes over in Norwich. And, yeah, so for anyone that don't know the Knight family, Paige, Soraya, that's her family. And, yeah, so, like, where she first started out in wrestling. But, yeah, so do you still wrestle then, or is
no? I have no time to wrestle at this time, and getting a little older. I don't feel like taking the pain anymore. So I just take my administrative role, and I mean, trust me, it keeps me busy enough.
So speaking of your wrestling career, then, like, do you have any like memorable moments, memorable matches from your time?
I mean, I just did it locally for a little bit, and until I transitioned to what I'm doing today. I mean, I had a good time for a couple years, but you know, I mean, I got to meet a lot of good people like Ricky Morton, George South, like Jimmy Boogie Wee Man Valiant, like tons of great people throughout that you would know from the Mid Atlantic and from their time in the WWF.
Yeah. So with the AIWF, like, have you guys got a long-term goal for like what you'd like to achieve through the AIWF, or like would you say that you've already achieved what you sort of set out to do?
I mean, there's still work to be done always, but we're just trying to like do the best we can with the resources we have and try to help people out. Like, people are doing great. Like, I know our champions, they're touring the country. They're touring multiple companies. The America's title actually just got defended in Nigeria about a month ago. King Kisney was over there. He's a native Nigerian, but he was living in Texas for a little bit. But he went there. Like I said, the cruiserweight champion just got defended in England. We got our belt. Our Latin American championship is on IWRG TV. They're probably the number 3 promotion legitimate in Mexico right now. They're running Acapulco every Sunday, and they have about a 2,500 seat arena. They run every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Bengali is the Latin American champion. He's a great talent. He used to be in CMLL.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're just doing good, and we try to keep it going, and we try to keep working with new people. And like I said, yeah, Europe's definitely expanding. I mean, like I said, Chris Forbes, our president over there, he also runs Valor Wrestling. If you've heard of Valor Wrestling, they run in Scotland, Sweden, and Norway mainly.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a couple of people that work for Valor on the frequent. Tim Strange, are you familiar with the Outlaw Tim Strange?
I know Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. I refereed him a couple of months back for Big Top Wrestling. And yeah, he came on the Nerdic Pro November-ish time last year, like I want to say. And yeah, so excuse me. But yeah, so who would you say are the most sort of well-known promotions, well-known people like involved with the AIWF?
I mean, the most well-known, I would say definitely down in Mexico, they know them real good. We had our Latin American champions, excuse me, have been on TV all throughout Mexico. Like I said, Gianni, the European champion, he was just on TV. Where his home base is, Pro Wrestling Malta. They're on TV in Malta. And like I said, he toured Dragon Gate, and he actually took Ultimo Dragon's mask a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's pictures online. I mean, I can get you a copy. So, but yeah, I mean, they guys are doing some good stuff. I I know Ricky Knight just joined up with Chris. I haven't talked to Ricky too much. I've had a few conversations with him, nothing major. But Barrett Brown just defended that cruiserweight title. Barrett Brown also used to be the NWA cruiserweight champion until that Rockstar screwed him over, and that's a shoot. But our guys are doing well. Our Canadian president right now is Andre, who is known as Drew Onyx. He was the British Commonwealth champion for a very long time in the NWA. And so we got good relations throughout the world, and we have over 21,000 followers on our Facebook, which, not a lot of people have that many. So we must be doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of Facebook and sort of speaking of social media, where can the viewers of this podcast, where can the listeners find the AIWF online?
Yeah, they can find us on our Facebook at AIWF Wrestling. They can find us. We put a lot of our content on our AIWF Network page on YouTube. It's not hard. The internet's great. Google search is easy, guys.
Yeah. So I've seen some of the content on the AIWF Network YouTube channel. It gets updated multiple times a day, 7 days a week. You have podcasts on there. You have wrestling shows on there. There's never a day that goes by where there's not any form of content on there. Do you know what I mean? And so if you're a wrestling fan, then I very much would recommend checking out the WF Network. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually got on with I know a guy you're familiar with, Louis Theroux. We were actually on the Louis Theroux show many years ago, about 2000, 2001.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can look that up on the YouTube. It's his wrestling episode.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so in terms of championships and wrestlers and the AIWF, is there any plans that the fans can look forward to, like in terms of the AIWF? Anything that you guys are putting on as a sort of body, or like anything that you guys know of that people can go check out?
We got shows all the time, constantly. Some of our shows run every week. So, it's constantly shows we're doing across the world. I got the AIWF Crazy 8 coming up. That's July 19th in Madison, Indiana. It's the 14th edition. It's the biggest cruiserweight tournament in America right now. And we'll see who wins. We got some great talent. You can check it out. We got lots of great stuff. Like I say, we got our champions defending around the globe every week. It seems like somebody's going somewhere.
Yeah. I've had Greg Anthony, the WWF World Heavyweight Champion, on a few weeks back. Excuse me, a few weeks back. And he's traveling all over the US. Literally not long to pass 400 days as the AIWF World Champion as well. And
Greg, a lot of people don't like how Greg looks, but Greg, he's tougher than a $2 steak, and he's got over 20 years of wrestling experience. And he's defended, in I think 12 states out of 50 in the United States so far in those 400 days. Nobody's beat him yet. I know you got the complainers out there on the internet, and until somebody beats him, he's going to have that belt.
Yeah, I know he's got a match coming up, hasn't he, against Mustang Mike?
Mustang Mike is this weekend in Morgan City, Louisiana. Mustang Mike actually beat him for the NWA national title 8 years ago. So we'll see if lightning can strike twice.
Time will only tell. But Greg Anthony, for anyone that don't know, anyone who's like an old school wrestling fan, Midnight Express, beautiful Bobby Eaton. Greg Anthony was in fact Bobby Eaton's tag team partner, and was actually in Bobby's final ever match. And and as Matt just said, he's a former NWA National Heavyweight Champion, I believe, on 3 separate occasions.
Yeah, about 3 times. Yeah, he defended it around the country, and he was also a big star on TCW TV, which used to air on the Outdoor Channel throughout America.
Yeah. So he's been around, and all that. Do you know what I mean? So
we've had some great world champions. We've had Ricky Morton as a world champion. We've had Buddy Landale, Jimmy Valiant. We've had Rodney Mack. We've had the Beer City Bruiser of Ring of Honor. We've had so many great world champions the past 32 years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like 32 years, and etc. But like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the AIWF now is much, much larger than the NWA back in the day, like at their peak.
I mean, yeah, it probably is at this point. I mean, we've definitely have a full global scope. I mean, I'm talking to you in the UK. I mean, just today I've talked to guys in Mexico. I've talked to guys in Russia. I've talked to guys in Canada. I mean, I keep busy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, like for anyone, like for any promoters out there, I will very much recommend speaking to Matt Classic and joining the AIWF Alliance. As he said, 150 promotions in 47 different countries. That is insane to have those sorts of contacts as well. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, I mean, it's always something. But
yeah,
we're doing well, and I mean, like I said, I've been working on getting some names booked around the country. People hit me up, hey, who do you know? Who can you get me? I'm like, let's see who we can get.
yeah,
And I mean, there's some great talent around the globe. I mean, AIWF is truly the place where the past, the future, and the present meets every day. Trust me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, obviously being over here in the UK, I know a couple of your partners over here. Paul Terrell from SOS, Gareth Angel from Kingdom.
Yeah, good guys, all good guys. I know SOS has a huge show. I heard James Storm. I heard a ton of other names coming in September. Check them out. He always does great. And Gareth and Kingdom, they do some great work for charities. I mean, I know he helps put people to work, and all their money they raise on their shows are keeping people out of trouble. So I applaud what he's doing over there.
Yeah, Gareth has also done some stuff for Sunday Morning Live a couple of years ago with Rish Kumar, and I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, with Sky and the BBC, etc. He's recently done something with Rish Kumar, and I think the guy's name's Stephen Willett, I think. Yeah, so. But
and
yeah,
you got to think our first president of AIWF Europe was the legend himself, Marty Jones. I mean, Marty Jones, just an absolute legend. He was the king of the middleweights in England for years, king of the world of sports. I mean, the guy wrestled freaking Tiger Mask, Satori Sayama, for God's sake.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, like he's also wrestled the likes of Ric Flair. He's also wrestled Bret Hart. He's also wrestled Hulk Hogan. But the biggest names in the wrestling business. Like I've had Marty Jones on the podcast like a couple of times, and he's genuinely, one of the most legendary names to come out of the UK. He runs a training school in Oldham up in Manchester, and just some of the names that he's trained: William Regal, Ridge Holland. The British Bulldogs, just some of the names that he's trained.
He came out of Billy Riley's Wigan school, so I mean that tells you he's tough.
Yeah, exactly. Like that guy literally is a scroll of knowledge when it comes to British wrestling and wrestling in general. You know what I mean? And so Matt, I'm aware that that you guys are the AIWF are always on the lookout for more partners to join the AIWF. How can a promoter listening to this podcast join the AIWF?
Just send me a message. I'm glad to talk to you. We do have a couple rules, but nothing too major. I consider us a looser alliance compared to some of the other alliances of years past. But just hit me up on Facebook. You can also email the AIWF at AIWF20@hotmail.com anytime, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, lovely. So, Matt, I would like to say a massive thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule, as I know that it is, to join me here this evening. Have you got anything to add on to this podcast?
You just do a great job, and everybody that I know has been on the Nerdic podcast is very happy and has said great things. And we definitely hope to be working with y'all in the future more. And thank you for your time and all the listeners around the world. You know, hit that like button for the Nerdic podcast. And if you want to talk to me, I'm easy to find. Send me a message, send me an email. Let's chat. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much indeed. And yeah, so like, I do hope to be seeing you, as we have been speaking about previously, in terms of the quiz league that we've got coming up, starting in August. And yeah, so I hope to be seeing you involved with that at some point. And yeah, so, but yeah, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the Nerdic Pro podcast, my name has, as per usual, been Bobby Salazar. With me on the line has been the executive director, the chief executive director of the Allied Independent Wrestling Federations, the AIWF, the man himself, Mr. Matt Classic. Matt, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me here this evening. And I shall be seeing you all later. Oh, yeah, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that this coming Monday, I have got a very special announcement for a WWE alumni superstar to be joining us on Saturday, August 17th. Hope to be seeing you all there. Thank you all very much, and goodbye. Right. Have I ended? Have I ended the recording?